Hey.
Alright y'all, after a 1-5 start to the season, the Detroit Pistons have clawed their way back and won 3 of their last 4 games. And this really shouldn't be a surprise to those who were actually watching the Pistons at the start of the season, because again, despite all of the losses, they actually looked like a competitive and real NBA team filled with real NBA players. So it was only a matter of time before those close losses turned into close wins, and again, they've racked up a few in the past week. Cade Cunningham is a big reason why they've been able to do that, as he has had 3 triple-doubles across the last 3 games. As the 4th-year player, again finally surrounded by real NBA talent, seems to officially be maybe beginning a breakout season, which seems to be something that is very necessary at the moment because the Cade Cunningham haters continue to pile up for some reason, and there's just a lot of people who think that he's not a good basketball player, and I just remain very confused by it. The doubters seem to be silenced again due to this recent stretch, and I hope that they stay that way. Cade Cunningham's dominance was very evident in this win over the Atlanta Hawks. He was in full control of this game anytime he was on the court. I always love his patience when he has the ball in his hands. His ability to run an offense and get his teammates open for good looks is tremendous. In a lot of ways, his playstyle reminds me that of Luka Doncic's. Now, obviously, I'm not trying to say that they're the same player. Luka is obviously at an MVP, best in the league level. Cade Cunningham has potential to get near that in his career, but obviously right now is not near that. But I bring the comparison up because, again, I love how both players are so patient with their drives to the rim, yet at the same time they have immense strength and have abilities to just carve their way to the rim. They're also great at using those driving abilities to put pressure on the defense, which then opens up passing lanes for their teammates to get assists. The real main differences come in that Luka Doncic is a much higher volume 3-point shooter and just better shooter in general, whereas Cade Cunningham is a bit better on the defensive side of the ball, but we'll get to that later. In this game against the Hawks, Cunningham finished with 13 assists for his triple-double, and again, he was spraying the ball all over the court, looked super comfortable in pick and rolls, as that was one of his better qualities coming out of the draft. He's also just great at being able to manipulate the defense. Again, with these patient drives, he works and works until he finds a defense at position, or he's able to hit a cutter or kick out to a teammate. And for some reason in this game, I'm going to blame the Hawks defense because it's pretty terrible. But in the first half, Cunningham had like 9 assists, and the Hawks just continued to double team him off of every screen and handoff, despite the fact that he had 2 points until like the 3-minute mark of the first half. So not sure why they were choosing to play defense on him that way, but again, it just reinforces that Cunningham was able to continue to just pick apart the defense anytime that 2 defenders were drawn to him on these actions. I'd maybe even go as far to say that playmaking is Cade Cunningham's best strength at the moment. But that's not to say that he is a terrible scorer of the basketball. He's still averaging over 22 points per game so far this season. Like I mentioned earlier in the video, he is a tremendous driver of the basketball. He's so patient with it. He has tremendous strength and is just able to body his way to the rim almost every single time. And not only is he able to finish through a lot of contact, but he's also great at getting to the free throw line by drawing contact as well. He obviously had the offensive play of the game for the Pistons, where in the clutch time hits the go-ahead layup with the left hand over 2 defenders, which it cannot be overstated how difficult of a shot this is to make. I love that Cade Cunningham continues to grow and expand himself as a tough shot maker in the NBA, because that is always a great thing to have for these end of game scenarios. I was also a big fan of the couple of post-ups the Pistons gave him to get him started in the second half, because, first half, again, he wasn't scoring the ball that well, so JB Bickerstaff made it a point to just get him some one-on-one possessions in the post. And then, like I mentioned in the Luka Doncic comparison, Cade Cunningham is a very, very solid defender. Had a few possessions where he was shutting off the paint from the guy who he was guarding. He has good IQ to know when to switch, when to help, when to rotate, all of those good things. And then also, again, obviously, you've probably seen this play too, but had the big game-winning block after hitting the clutch go-ahead shot Trae Young drove to the rim, dumped it off to Onyeka Okongwu, and again, Cade Cunningham shows off the great rotation skills to dive down and reject the layup to secure the win for the Pistons. Overall, it seems that Cunningham is starting to find his footing in the NBA, which I know in his 4th season might be a bit of like a, why is it taking him so long to do that? But you have to keep in mind, he's missed all of the 2nd season, or almost all of it, with the foot injury. He's dealt with, I think, 3 or 4 head coaches already in his playing career, which is not exactly a great situation to grow as a player in. And plus, like I said at the top of the video, this is the first time the Detroit Pistons have actually had a roster full of legit NBA players. So finally, all those things are coming together. There's legit NBA spacing for Cade Cunningham to work with. He has legit NBA shooters to pass to. So because of all of those things, he is now able to be the #1 guy on a team that is capable of winning NBA games. As for some of the guys who is helping him do that, Jaden Ivey continues to have a great 3rd season with Monty Williams off the roster coaching. He's averaging just a hair under 20 points per game, and even though this one game against the Hawks wasn't anything crazy for him, he just continues to make really good plays to help the Pistons win games. He's still electric when driving to the rim. He's great, he's bursty. He loves drawing fouls and getting to the free throw line, which is awesome to see, even though his free throw percentage isn't the best right now. He also hit a couple of middies off the dribble, which was really nice to see, because so far this season, or at least throughout his career, he's been more of a either get to the rim or hit a 3 kind of guy. So obviously the next step to him increasing his offensive game will be him opening up that mid-range area and becoming a true 3-level scorer. And then Ron Holland, his start of his career hasn't been anything crazy, but he continues to have a few plays every game where he pops. Still looks like he's going to be a tremendous defender down the line at some point in his career. Just has very quick feet, able to cut off driving lanes very quickly. Plus he had this one really nice drive and floater-ish type of shot, which hopefully he's able to keep on doing that as well. And then with Jalen Duren injured for this game, we got to see a lot of Isaiah Stewart and even some B-ball Paul. Paul Reed got some burn as the backup big. And both these guys are solid. I still believe in them long term as solid rotational NBA pieces. As much as I love Jalen Duren, these guys offer just like a hair more defensively. Beef Stew was awesome in this game, blocking shots, protecting the rim. B-ball Paul had this one nice little lob breakup. Plus, B-ball Paul is able to just offer a bit more offensively as well in terms of being able to score the ball, which is nice to see. At the end of the day, as we are about 12%, about an eighth of the way through this NBA season, the Detroit Pistons currently sit in the play-in. Now, obviously, most of the Eastern Conference is struggling to start, with the Celtics and the Cavaliers being the only teams with a record above 500, but it still means a lot to the Detroit Pistons, and I imagine it means a lot to the Pistons fans that they're actually like in the middle of it now. After so many seasons of just being the bottom of the East, to being the worst team, and having to wait until like February, March, April to win your 10th game. They're playing good basketball. They are in games at the end of games, and they've gone toe-to-toe with some really good teams over the past couple of weeks. And again, at the head of it all, being the leader of this team, it's Cade Cunningham at playing some truly tremendous basketball, probably the best stretch of basketball of his entire career, and I'd like to imagine that it's only up from here for Cade Cunningham. Anyways, that's all I got for this one. As always, if you enjoy, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all of those good things, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.